All right, all right. Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? We've got Rich B in the house, Pistol Pete, Dirt Track, Rich B. Appreciate y'all being on. Pistol Pete saying just watching vid about Bloomberg putting up 45 million to elect Harris and further the anti-2A agenda. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of that crap going right now. Ben Stiller put up 150,000 or something. I mean, that's not 45 million, but yeah, it's crazy. And of course, her little boob running mate, um, was actually in the military. his his uh, his company was going to be shipped out to Afghanistan, and he didn't like that. He was scared, so he bailed. I mean, when you sign up for that, you know what could happen. So he bailed and got out. So it's pretty crazy. He's the same guy that put tampons in boys' bathrooms. So there you go, right there. What's up, reloading from the hot pot? How are you, sir? Hope everyone is doing well this evening. What does he look like, Joseph? He looks like a lot of people. He looks like that old man from the Muppets. Um, he looks like that comedian. I can't remember his name, but he talks with a lisp. I mean, he looks like a bunch of people. So, yeah, yep, that's what I said. I used to think Ben Stiller was funny, man, but he's gone completely idiotic. And like I said, that's woke Hollywood. You know, oh, he had PTSD from the war and didn't even go. Yeah, and he said he wants to ban assault weapons like he used in the war, but yet he never went to war. So JD Vance called him out on that, which I thought was pretty funny. Hello, Lee. How are you? Hope you are doing well. But yeah, I've got the chat name. Do you or should you carry a truck gun? And I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with everything. I'm on X now too. But with all the stuff that happened in Budapest and freaking UK, all this crazy shit that's popping off. I mean, people are trying to drive down the road. They're getting attacked. They're getting their cars ripped apart. They're getting drug out of cars and beaten. I mean, it's just mobs and mobs and mobs of people. So I was going to throw this out there. Do you carry a truck gun? Not just a pistol on you, but do you carry a truck gun, such as a PDW, or a full size rifle, in a bag, like maybe your back seat, or you got it strapped up to the back of the back seat or the front seat, but it's strapped around the back? Do y'all do that, or is that a little overkill in your area? Do you do it only when you go on long trips? Just want to kind of get some feedback. And if you do, what caliber do you carry? Is it 5.56, 300 blackout, 7.62 by 39? You know, I mean, there's no wrong or right answers here. Yeah, hopefully they kick all that stuff out. Well, Rabbi, the reason I'm doing it is the only reason I joined, and I've always had a Twitter. I've just never messed with it. Matter of fact, I didn't know the passwords or anything, or couldn't remember them. And then I just set up a new dummy account, and then all of a sudden I was able to get onto my other account. So now I have a barbecue channel and a gun channel. But I think with everything that's going on, I think with YouTube and stuff, I've already put up two videos, and they pulled down or they demonetized one, and then I was like, okay, I'm still going to post it. And I went back the next day to post it after they declined it, and they pulled the video down. It was not even on there. I didn't take it off. I tried to upload it again, and right when I uploaded it again, they took it off. They wouldn't even let it upload. So then this is a whole different video. I tried to put the video up, and it wouldn't let me. I was trying to get it to turn green, for monetization. It wouldn't do that. Then I just tried to upload it, like just hit upload, and it didn't. It's just stuck. So it won't even let me go public with it. So I don't know if they've completely blacklisted me now. I don't know what's going on. So I'm able to do lives, but the last two videos I have not been able to post. Um, I was able to put up a couple of cooking things on my barbecue channel. Um, so I was able to upload those. So maybe they don't have an issue with my barbecue channel, but apparently they have an issue with this one. So it's happened twice now. So I don't know what's going on. Let me catch back up here. So that's why I have X, because I think more and more and more stuff's happening over here. So I don't know. Rabbi, I think they're Muslim or Islamic. I mean, they're not here, so I personally don't know. It could be also people mixed in that. Who knows? Only on trips more than 2 hours, Lynn Holt saying. Okay. All right. I carry a Chevette gun. There you go. Hello, Tristan. How are you, sir? I used to carry that AR pistol when traveling across Texas. Gotcha. When I come to Dallas, 5.56. Do you think a PS90 would be a good truck gun? PS90 is not a joke. A lot of people think it is. You are dealing with 5.7. I mean, you've got 50 rounds on tap on a PS90, so that's nothing to squawk at. I mean, I mean and the good thing is it is a center fire cartridge. So, and I own a 5.7. Would I feel inadequate if I carried it? Not really. I mean, as we've all talked about, it's all about shot placement. Um, you hit the off switch, they're going. It's going bye bye. You bring your Shadow 2 on road trips. Excuse me, let me just clear this out real quick. Um, yeah, Shadow 2 is a great gun. Hello, Brian. How are y'all? That's what I was just talking about. See, here we go. Brian saying it. Not a single notice for this chat. Yeah. Yep. That's what's going on. I was just saying, Brian, I tried to upload 2 videos and YouTube won't them upload on this channel. They let me do 2 on my barbecue channel. So I don't know what's going on. They let me do the live chat, or put it this way, I'm on StreamYard, but hopefully it goes up on YouTube. I don't know, but I have a feeling I'm definitely on their naughty list. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of stuff's going on right now, and I don't know if it's because I do get a little political. Um, not like a lot of channels, but I kind of speak what's on my mind sometimes, and of course we discuss what's on y'all's mind too. But I don't know if they're trying to silence that. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But tried to upload 2 videos. Neither one of them would upload. They deleted one completely. The other one they won't even let it go. Like I just said, they didn't monetize it, which is not a big deal. But I was just trying to hit like release it so y'all could see it. They won't even. They won't even. I'll hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button. Nothing happens. Doing the same stuff I always did before. So I don't know what's going on. Hello, Norwood. How are you? I've got Big Johnson JJ, or excuse me, Big Johnson GG. That's one of them, and then the other one is Big Longhorn, or Big J's Pit Stop is the name of it, and the other one is just Big Johnson, but the little handles is at Big Johnson GG for the gun one, and then the other one is at One Big Longhorn, like a steak. Rich B is asking, did you ever let your wife shoot the 5.7 yet? No, it hasn't worked out to where we've both been able to go. She's been tied up or whatever, but I do want her to shoot it. I think she's really going to love it. Thumbs, something about thumbs. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. Yeah, I agree, Pistol Pete. I definitely agree. That's one reason I've kind of went on Twitter and started, saying some things and posting some stuff. Hello, Armsman. How are you? He says, good evening, sir. It's been done at airport channels and video game channels also. At least that's what I've been hearing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're cracking down on me apparently. Big thumbs and guns. Yeah, big thumb and gun. I got you. Yeah, I know. They definitely are. I don't, man. I think they're going to find a way out of weasel out of this. I just do. Yeah, 5.7 is a very fun gun. I really, really, really like my 5.7 a lot. No problem. Thanks, reloading. Yeah, I think if you have the correct shot placement, you're not going to go wrong. Also, no whiskey tonight. Um, I mean, I haven't been, I don't want to advertise it or anything because, but I'll share it with y'all. My big ass is on a diet. I've started the carnivore. I started it Sunday, and since Sunday, and of course, I know the first part of it is water weight, but so far I'm down like 6 pounds, I think 6.4 pounds or something like that, and since Sunday. So, but I'm having water with salt, a special kind of salt, lime, and ice. So that's what I'm drinking, and I can periodically, have whiskey or vodka or stuff like that. It's not perfect, but there's no carbs in it. So I'm just uh, I'm just trying to cut some weight, man. Thumbs and guns. Yeah, there you go. Oh, airsoft. Yeah, I'm sure they're going after everything. Nothing is surprising me right now. Last message was stopped. There you go. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Something's going on. That's why. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to do something, but I don't know if I can. Like I said, I don't know other than this live. I guess we'll see with the replay. But the other two videos were definitely guns. Um, so who knows? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it, Rabbi. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it so much, man. Thank you so much, sir. Right next to the doctor's office, the proctologist office. Yeah, man. That's another thing. You know, I've had now, of course, when I was younger, I was in perfect shape. Worked out, played football, did all that stuff. Um, but my body started breaking down. Arthritis, shoulder, two major shoulder surgeries, knee shoulder surgery. Um, been taking Celebrex since I was like 30 because of massive arthritis, and I was just like, you know what? I want to clean all that crap up and maybe get off that Celebrex and stuff because I think a lot of it even might be my diet. So I just want to kind of go back to the roots and see, if I can maybe eventually get off even Celebrex and stuff like that. Because I don't think big pharma is helping anybody right now. So I just want to kind of get back. I'm not saying I'm going to have a six pack or whatever, but I just really want to start cutting some weight. I got a grandkid on the way, and I just I want to be a lot smarter. So personal decision. I'm not going to brag about it. I'm not going to throw out videos on it. I'm not going to do all that other stuff and turn into a dietitian because I'm not. But just wanted to share it with the family here. I have shot a Rock Island, but not the 10 millimeter. I have shot a Rock Island 45, and I have shot the double stack 45, and I have shot a Rock Island 9 millimeter double stack, but I've never shot a 10 millimeter in a Rock Island. Both these guns were a friend of mine that I had shot in. So, but he didn't have the 10 millimeter, and this was a little while ago. So I don't have any personal experience with those. Or excuse me, personal experience with a 10 millimeter in that version. I don't. I mean, one of his 9 millimeter was pretty finicky on mags, and a lot of the, like the flip safeties, and I mean, it was really coarse. I mean, it just chewed up my hand. It definitely made it bleed. A lot of sharp areas on there. you can have them germoed. You can, there's people who kind of refix all that stuff. Hayes Customs does in Texas. He goes through the Rock Islands and makes them like freaking race guns. So, I mean, anything's possible. I just don't have any experience with the 10 millimeter in Rock Island to personally speak from that. So, y'all know I don't BS you. Exactly. You're exactly right. And that's what I'm doing, Pistol Pete. I'm just kind of looking at it as a lifestyle change. And I'll tell you what, if you've never had it, it's Redmond's salt. It's like the mineral salt, the real salt, and lime, the fresh squeezed lime, not an actual lime, just in the bottle, but it is all lime. And water and ice, and you put that little bit of that salt in there. I'll tell you what, it's actually pretty damn good, and it's real refreshing. I was doing stuff out in the yard yesterday and cooking steaks and doing all that other stuff, so it was freaking hot, and it's super refreshing. I kind of got my wife hooked on it too. Hello, Abigail. How are you? Lean protein, plenty of vegetables, complex carbs instead of simple carbs, and plenty of water and exercise. Yeah, I agree. I'm just doing the carnivore personally. Anyone have any experience with a 303 Lee Enfield rifle? I do not. I really don't. Best place to get ammo, optic mounts for basic scopes. It depends on if you want high mounts, low mounts, standard mounts. Ammo, what I do is I go on ammoseek.com. You can just Google it. They have an app too, ammoseek.com, and you can pull up your caliber that you want and the best prices, and that's what I do. I've got a little app here. If I find it. I got a bunch of anyway, it's ammoseek.com is what it is. Yeah, here it is. If you can read that, AmmoSeek. And you can put your caliber in and whatever you want, you can find it, and they'll give you the best prices. You got to remember some of that is not including shipping. And then optic mounts for basic scopes. If you're just wanting, if weight matters, if you want super lights, there's really good options out there. God, what is the name of that company? It has the super light mounts. I'm sure somebody will put it in there. I have one of them, and it's super light. It's really light. The only thing I'd worry about is if you drop the rifle, it could bend. I've got some pretty high-end ones. They're pretty expensive. They're not cheap. I'm a big LaRue fan, but they're a little heavier. Geisley makes awesome mounts. Primary Arms came out with some new ones, and they are American made. They're not cheap, though. Ooh, Pistol Pete had to send back 2 507Cs recently. What was wrong with them, Pistol Pete? What were they doing? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yep, the shipping will get you, so you do have to watch out for that. No, you're more than welcome. Nope, everybody's welcome here. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see here. Truck guns, your vehicle is not a holster. You're good with your carry gun. Yeah, here's what we were talking about, though, Abigail. With all the stuff that's going on in the cities, over in the UK, Budapest, all that other area, just the mobs going through the cities and people being stuck in cars and things like that. You got 100 people and you got a pistol. I'm not saying you couldn't, you could start popping off and hopefully people would start scrambling, but you never know. And I've always thought about this. And I got to find a way to say it. If bad people wanted to do bad things, and I've talked about this with some friends, I brought this up, like-minded people. As much as I travel, if you kind of think about like up under the bridges, there's kind of a lot of concrete there. There's kind of a hide or hive, I guess you could say, a covered area. Um, if bad people wanted to do bad things, you've just got car after car after car after car. If you know, if a cell were to come in and perch up there, they could do some things. And if you're sitting in your car or even out of your car, what are you going to do? If traffic was backed up in a situation like that, and I'm just like, if you had something, and if they had people perched up, and then all of a sudden some of the other ones just started walking through car to car, I mean, you just don't know. There's all kinds of what if scenarios. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to, say, oh, this is happening. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just trying to say, it maybe if you're going to be on a longer trip, or you're going to be taking a lot of interstates, or you're going to be going through a city, that maybe might be known for some of that. Like, put it this way, I live in Texas. Okay, there's a lot of people that carry here. However, if I went to downtown Dallas, that's a little more liberal. If I went to downtown Houston, that's the same. Austin, that's the same. A lot of other cities I wouldn't worry about. Abilene, Laredo, things like that. So, I'm just saying, should you plan accordingly? Should you maybe consider taking something? It's kind of like your seatbelt. You wear it, but you might not ever get in an accident. I'm just saying, if you had it, something happened. Yes, you've got your EDC or your pistol on your person, but would it be nice to have that rifle if you needed it, or a PDW? I'm not saying a full blown, 18-inch, 20-inch rifle. I'm just saying, I think there is a place for it. Y'all have seen videos in the past. I travel a lot. I've traveled with them. Do I travel with them every single time? No, I don't. But with more and more and more stuff happening, it's like, okay, should you? This is just a conversation. I'm not saying you're wrong if you don't, or you're right if you do. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to, kind of get people to think, like, and there's some people that just live out in the country, like way out in the woods. I mean, it could probably never happen there, ever. But there's just that what if. So, so that's all I was thinking about. Let's see. Pistol Pete is saying the 1507, the plus, was not working for brightness control. The other one, the reticle, started showing a bunch of green dots all around the reticle, both with very low round counts. Huh, that's weird. Okay, now the 507 was not in auto, was it? Because sometimes if you're in auto and you try to brighten it or dim it, it won't do it. You have to take it out of auto. Because I've had mine stuck in auto before. I'm not saying you haven't tried that. I'm just asking a question. A bunch of green dots all around the reticle. That's weird. Was it not doing that before? I mean, you don't have astigmatism, do you? Just asking. I'm not saying that they can't take a poop. Oh yeah, state violence is a big thing. Hello, Floridian. How are you? I'm traveling to my dad's place. I bring a full loadout, but traveling in town 99% of the time driving. I just carry what I do every day. I totally get it. I totally get it. 300 BP, 300 blackout, maybe. Hello, Dave Gass. How are you? Did you see no more rifles can be sold in Massachusetts as of last weekend? Only shotguns, and now Massachusetts is going after Target Sports, the only online company that will send ammo. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is crazy. No, I haven't seen that, Dave. Good to see you again, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But no, I have not seen that. Holy crap, man. What is this? See, I mean, Clarence Thomas And the Supreme Court just ruled all that. How is Mass doing that? Are they just waiting for the lawsuits to come through? I guess they're just going to wait it out, buy their time. Good Lord. Oh, not up in brightness. Okay, yeah, you probably have a bad button. That's what happened on that SIG that I had to send back. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm saying, Wendigo. It's kind of like, hey, if it's there, it's there. If you don't use it, you don't use it. The only thing, this is the only thing. There's one negative. Say you have it in your vehicle, okay, and it's out of, you've got it hidden, you've got it put up, all that kind of stuff, and you go in to do something, you're not going to walk in there with that on it, more than likely, to go eat or something. So, and then you come back, and what if your vehicle's broken into? There's kind of two ways about that. Now, I do have a huge lockbox. I've shown it in a video way back when. That's in my personal truck, not the company truck. I've carried quite a bit in there, and if you were trying to break into that, you would be there all freaking day. I mean, it's a monster. Yeah, the box is, and it's all steel, but it's probably, I don't know, it's about that wide, and it's about 16 inches this way. So if you want to put an 18-inch, you got to put it catty corner. But you can actually put a lot of stuff in there. And I always use that when I travel, and I always had one with me in my personal truck. Exactly. That's what I've been talking about, Brian. That's what makes the 300 Blackout so attractive. 9-inch barrel, you get full power. Can use subs or like 45 or go super, really close, 5.56, but 9-inch barrel. Yeah, I mean, 300 Blackout has a lot of versatility, when it comes to stuff like that. Even carbines, that's crazy. I knew that was probably going to be happening. That's one reason Smith and Wesson left. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. They're going to just tie it up in court and ride it out as long as they can. Damn, they've had the double lumbar spine fusion. Whew. Hopefully you get better quick, Dave. Where did you get that lockbox? It is a company. Oh gosh, if you wouldn't ask me, I could have told you. It's the same one the police use in all of their cruisers. They have like trunk models, smaller models. Golly, if you look up lockbox, it's like police rifle lockboxes. You'll see it. Also, when you open the lid, it's got a touch. You have to push them in combination, or you can use a key, however you choose to do it. So I did mine for both. I can't remember the name. It's all steel. It's got rug lined. Also, when you open it up, when you open the lid, it actually releases two tangs on the side, and that is where you put steel cables. They're wrapped in plastic, and the cables are, hell, they're bigger around than my middle finger. They're thick, and you actually anchor them to the bottom of your truck tie downs. Those big steel hooks that you have, like in the corners. You run them through there and run them back through this and lock it. So if they were trying to grind it or whatever, they're going to be there for a very long time. I think it's a Mighty. I think that's the company's name, Mighty. Mighty, I believe. Mighty lockbox, I think is what it is. And you can get some. Mine is the biggest one they make, I believe. I think it's made by Mighty. What's up, Keith Gregory? How are you, man? Yeah, I've seen those. Picked up Holosun SCS for your Glock. Yeah, I think Trigger Bar has one. I haven't. I don't. I'm like, man, I can't put a battery in it. I'm just kind of weird about that. I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I haven't tried it, but I'm just like, man, what if that capacitor went out or whatever? I mean, if it's a battery, you could pop it off, change the battery, or pull the tray out, change the battery. I'm not saying that's going to fail. It's just like, ugh. Yeah, I get you. I completely understand, Abigail. Completely understand. Hello, DB. How are you, man? Hope everything is well with you, sir. Yep, no problem, Dave. I appreciate you. Also, I didn't know if y'all had seen EOTech. Can't even talk. EOTech came out with a brand new red dot reticle, and it's called the DCR. So rather than the, and it looks a little similar, but rather than the donut of death, this is their new regular or new reticle, and it is a DCR, and that stands for danger close reticle. So, I mean, it shows it in the video. I only saw a quick video of it. Looks pretty cool. If you're an EOTech fan, that could be a possibility if you like EOTech. It is something a little different. Now, I'm sure it'll be $1 million right off the bat, but when they first come out, but maybe not. They didn't have pricing listed on that video, so I really don't know, and I haven't looked it up yet. I was going to look it up just to see, if they had pricing on it, but I was like, I've got so many freaking red dots that I don't even use. But I did take out some gear the other day took it out of bags and, kind of got them prepped. Hopefully I'm going to go this Friday. I'm going to go back and test it out, film it, do that kind of stuff. Hopefully, like I said, I've still got 2 videos. One they deleted. One is just sitting there. So, I don't know. I even refreshed my page. I did all that kind of stuff, thinking something was weird. But, I'm going to do some filming this Friday, hopefully, and we'll see if we can get that up. I don't know, but I'll look at it this way. If I can't get some of these videos up, I might try to put, 1 or 2 of them over on the barbecue channel to see if they'll take it. I'm just wondering if they're just picking on the gun part. I don't know. So I might try to upload one over there just to see if it will upload or if it'll go public, so y'all can see it. I don't know. But that's what I'm faced with right now. So hopefully everything goes out or goes back. And Pistol Pete, I'm sure you pulled the battery out of it and let it sit for like 5 minutes, put it back in. And I don't know if anything changed, but probably not if the button's bad. Let's see here. What battery do they have, and what's the life of the batteries? Auto, on or off? Maybe you're talking to Pistol Pete. Yes, Pistol Pete. I actually really love the Primera Arms 2x Prism. I've got them on the items I was talking about that I was fixing up, or what I also had to do. I have the Cloud Defensive lights on both of these. I have the Rain, the original Rain, the full size, and so I was going back through and I was checking them and making sure they were good. And I noticed when I turned on the light, it just didn't seem as bright. So I pulled both the batteries out of both of those lights, charged them because, with the Cloud Defense, they use rechargeable batteries. So I put those, charged them up. It took a while to charge them up. So they were definitely low just from sitting. That's one thing you might want to look at. Definitely check your batteries periodically. Keep a fresh charge on them. So I did recharge those, popped them back in and everything. And now they're freaking bright as hell. So that's one of the bags I'll be taking. But it should be a fun day. I've got some things that I want to test, and plus, I just want to shoot them. And on that particular one, or that particular setup, on each one of them, they have a 2x Prism. So I'm definitely a fan of those. I'm sure it will. It's probably going to have a shitty battery life like every other EOTech. I'm sure it is going to, yes. EOTech's always had shitty batteries. Or shitty battery life. It's holographic. Anything holographic just eats batteries. I've got the Vortex Huey Gen 2, and if you're not careful, it can chew up batteries. So it has an on and off. So once I bag it, I just flip it, just turn it off, You can just hit the button and hit both the buttons and it goes off, and you can hit one button to turn it on. So it's simply when I come up at it, I can just pop my thumb on it and kick it on. But yeah, I was just, kind of thinking about it, like, as far as truck guns and, you hear people, hey, I've got a truck gun, I've got this, or I don't carry a truck gun, or I do, it was just kind of a thought, and I've talked about this in the past, there are, like I said, some areas I definitely bring one, because some of these areas, I've traveled Texas and other states so much. I know a lot of the quote unquote not so great areas. Um, so, and I'm not profiling, I'm just saying it is what it is. So, in some of those areas, I will definitely plan accordingly. Um, and like I said, knock on wood, nothing's happened yet. I'm not planning for anything to happen, but I would rather be prepared if something did happen. Oh, thanks, Huey. I appreciate it, buddy. Yep, duty grade optic. I'm getting another Aimpoint. Aimpoint makes good stuff. Hello, G23. How are you? Unit 4. Evening, Big J. Minutes late. Story of my life. Hey, no problem. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, Aimpoints are very, very good. I've got two Aimpoint. Well, yeah, I've got two. Well, I guess if you want to count the Acro P2. But I mean, as far as like rifle optics, I've got two Aimpoints. I mean, they work really well. A lot of people, I mean, it is a pretty expensive pill to swallow, especially if you have multiple rifles. It's hard to upfit, multiple aim points, and I get it. But kind of like your go to war or your duty one, I would recommend something substantial. With kind of a duty type setup, so to say, something that is going to be reliable. I'm not saying it has to be an aim point, just something you've tested, you've kind of ran through the gamut, and you know things like that. You've banged around, bumped around, you haven't babied, because you want to see if it can handle a bump or if your rifle were to fall over. Lynn Holt, is the Staccato P Heritage really better than a standard P? Special runs and full length dust cover is all I'm saying. A lot of people like it because that's the OG, so that's the original Staccato P. A lot of people like it for that reason, also for the weight and also the way it's sprung. Matter of fact, I'll give you an example. Threat Cadre, that is his favorite Staccato. As far he loves the original setup, the original spring, the original guide rod. Even if you get the toolless, he really does like that one a lot. He likes the recoil. He likes everything about it. I have only shot, I think, his original one time. And I'm just going to be honest, from my standpoint, shooting my P, and mine's all aluminum, the Heritage is all steel. So shooting one to the other, I personally couldn't tell a whole bunch of difference, other than the weight. So if you would like a heavier gun, maybe more of a target gun, more of kind of a, go to war, I wouldn't be afraid to take the aluminum one if that's what you're going to say, or if that's what I was going to say, or the alloy. Some people just like it also because it's the OG and they just remade it. Um, I, to me, I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best one. I wasn't, but maybe because I just haven't experienced all of them. I've shot the CS, I've shot my C2, the P aluminum, I have shot a steel, I've shot the XC, I have not shot the new C. I shot I guess the original C, the single stack, the little small single stack. I didn't care for that one at all. And that was Greg's also, Threat Cadres. But that's his favorite one, and he shoots for, Team Green Staccato. So I mean, he's on their green team, so he knows them inside and out, and that's his favorite one. For what, if that helps anybody with one, but is it like you have to go out and buy that one? I wouldn't think so. Yeah, and also, like, I look at it this way: if I bring a rifle with me, or a PDW or whatever you want to call it, if I bring one of those with me, if I ever wanted to go, like, if I'm somewhere and they've got a cool range, and one evening I want to go to the range, I've got it with me. So I mean, that's an opportunity too. Yep, I've been to Memphis many times, Rich B. I know probably some of the areas you're talking about, and that is one of the areas that I would carry too. Matter of fact, I still take care of that area, so I'm back to that area also. So I do Louisiana, Memphis, uh, stuff like that. So, and I'm not saying if you live there, you live in a bad area. I'm just saying there are some there. Let's see here. So you do carry your truck gun out of state? Because I carry a big caliber when I go up north. It's my backup 9 millimeter and 45. So you do carry a truck gun out of state? Yeah. I mean, I carry it out of state. I can. All, even with my LTC and stuff, all the states that I'm around, they recognize Texas as well. So I'm not kind of in unfriendly domain, so to say. There are some areas I go to, like Chicago and stuff like that. They don't recognize me. Or put it this way, a buddy of mine had some issues there. Yeah, it's certain parts of it, Abigail. There are certain parts of it. I mean, I love Memphis. I think it's cool, but there's some parts that are just like every other city. You got your good and your bad. What does this cadre actually mean? Hang on, what is this thing saying here? 45 ACP is your backup. 45 auto, yeah. Wow, Abigail, we have a lot in common. I was gonna say that's I definitely like Blue Alpha gear. I really like the new core battle belt. Also, I've been running it for quite a while. It's right here. I really like it, but I do love Blue Alpha gear as well. Safari Land. I've got two Safari Lands, but one of them is the camo wrapped. They didn't do it right. I had to custom order it way back when, and they didn't do the light right. So it's definitely tight. I probably need to get it remodded. I could probably send it to RDR Gear and have him redo it. Let's see here. In my opinion, the XC looks to be too much of everything. I know a guy that has the full size C2 and having some small issues in mounting Holosuns. They're proud of the heritage. Um, he's having issues mounting Holosuns. I wonder what the issue is. I've got Holosun. Um, I have a Holosun on my. What do I have it on? I had a Holosun on my C2, and I didn't have any problems mounting it. All it is the RMR plate. Um, Unless it's the smaller Holosun, like the 507K or 507 or 407K. I haven't tried that one. The XC is a great gun. It's flat and all that other stuff, but for the money, I have put my Staccato P with the Threat Cadre comp on it. Now it's long; it's a long boy, but it's the same as the XL length. But with my Staccato aluminum P with the Threat Cadre comp against the XC, Mine is just as flat and it's way lighter. I've done them side by side. I think I have a video somewhere. You can go and look at it. It's pretty far back. Um, I like the XC. It's super nice, but I got the P with the Threat Cadre for what? Not half the price, but it's like what, $1,000, $1,500 less. So I'm good with that. Now, granted, it's not all steel and all that other stuff, but yeah, I agree. Pistol Pete. Yep, bad people. I agree. That's good, Dave. Yeah, I mean, shoot your 22. I just can't believe they've done that to y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yep, Graceland, good old Graceland, the gum wall. I've been there too. Pranic is in the house. Oh, speaking of that, I actually met Pranic this week and took him some grips, or he met me. Took him some grips, and I gave him the wrong damn grips. I thought they were for a PO1, and they were for my Tanfo stock 2. So I sent him home with 2 of the wrong grips and didn't realize it until afterwards. But it was a pleasure meeting him. So first time I had met him in person. He's been a long time subscriber and stuff. So it was good to meet you. And I will keep looking and try to find the PO1 grips for you. Always fun when I can meet you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Jacksonville, yeah. Hello, Trigger Bar. How are you, man? Yeah, you know, I mean, well, I saw somebody was talking about the CZP-10C and F and stuff. Those are great guns. I mean, I love my C, I love my F. That F is a hammer. I mean, I've got some. They come stock with the 19 plus one in the pipe, of course, so that's 20 rounds. But then I've got plus 5 extensions on them. I mean, it's a big boy, but it is a hell of a shooter. I mean, it's a great, great gun. I really do love my P10F. I don't talk about it enough, but I really do love that gun. Armsman has a Holosun on his C2. Yeah, I was going to say, I've ran them on mine before, never had a problem. More bang for the bucks. Yeah. Yeah, Trigger Bar has a C2. He has a Holosun on his too. Yeah, I wonder what the problem was on that one, Lynn. Big J barbecue. What's the secret to cook barbecues or barbecue ribs right? What do you, or let's see here. What do you look for on an uncovered rib? I look for color. I look for bounce back. When you pick them up, because you can do unwrapped ribs. I've cooked them for 3 and 4 hours completely uncovered. That way you get a little more crispiness if that's what you like. Depends on who the people I'm cooking for. Sometimes I will wrap them, and then at the end I'll pull them out and glaze them and put them on there for about 15 minutes. But when you pick them up, with your tongs, you want to pick them up and have them start folding down. They're ready. Um, I'm a big. I don't really stick a bunch of probes in them. I mean, I've done that before, but I've been able to check them and they come out pretty damn perfect. What I do is I remove the membrane off the back. Now I will say this: if you're looking for extra firmness, you can keep the membrane on. I've done membrane on, membrane off. And actually, if you're looking for a lot of collagen, like if eating collagen is good for your body, and that membrane is all collagen. So I always recommend if people are, like, uh, if they're, and I'm not a doctor, so this is not doctor's advice, but if you're, immune system, if you're just, you need more vitamins, minerals, things like that, for your skin, you want your skin to look better. Um, if you eat it with the membrane on, that actually is 100% pure collagen. So it's actually good for you. But some people don't like the taste of it. It gives a little more chew, and they don't like that. If you're doing competition, you always want it removed, always, because it can have tug, and you don't want tug in competition. But I strip the membrane off. I square cut them to where they're perfect if it's for competition. I haven't competed in a long time with my dad, but you'd square them off, make sure it looks perfect. What I would do is I would rub them with mustard on both sides as a binder. Put my rub on very liberal. I mean, very deliberately. Just you're dumping it, sides, everything. Then I actually put that in the fridge, um, and kind of get it to bind up on there. And then I'll lay it out about 30 to 45 minutes before I cook it. You can do low and slow, or you can do ribs hot and fast, however you want to do it. With the hot and fast, you get a little more crisp to it. But, I've cooked them anywhere from 3 hours to 7 hours. If I'm doing 7 hours, it's like 220 degrees, and it's really, really low and slow. Also, with the drum smoker, I did a video on it on my barbecue channel. You can check it out. I'm a drum smoker. It can hang. So, in this old model that I had that I made, I could cook. I think the most I ever did it was 15 racks of ribs at one time. And the neat thing, you can hang them, and then when you pull them out, check them. You can actually put hooks on both sides, so you can hang them the opposite way if you choose to. You don't have to. But yeah, you're not wrapping ribs usually. When I do the barrel smokers, I usually leave them uncovered, and they come out amazing. So, and then for your glaze, you can use honey. You can use honey, butter, brown sugar. That's the most common. Um, and also when you're smoking them, you want to spritz them periodically to add moisture to it. So a lot of people spritz with water. I do half apple cider vinegar and apple juice, and it comes out pretty damn good. So, matter of fact, I have 2 racks of baby back ribs that I need to do. So I'll do a video when I do them. I'll do a video and throw them up on the barbecue channel. So probably within about a month, I'll be doing that. And I'll cook on the drum smoker, the big one, so you can see it. Yeah, Trigger Bar's giving y'all some info. Hit that thumbs up. Yeah, Trigger Bar, that's what I was going to say. He has been doing some good live streams. I think he does his on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Central. So go over there and give him a sub. He is doing some good stuff. Yeah, good to meet you too, Pranic. Appreciate you coming out. Yeah, they're going to drop it in 2030. Yeah. Yeah, CZ, man. I wish they would hurry up. Nora was saying I shoot better with my F. Shoot better with my F than with my C and S. Yeah, I mean, I shoot my C really good. I shoot my F good. I don't know if I shoot one of those better than the other. Maybe I could do a little test and see, because to be honest with you, I've shot both of them at the same time, but I really haven't shot like a left target and a right target, like one with the C and one with the F to kind of compare it. I've just kind of shot them on the same target. So maybe I need to check for myself. I do know on the CZ-P07 and the CZ-P09, I do shoot my P07 better than my P09. I don't know why that is. I really don't know. Just heard Nevada removed 100,000 people off the buy. I don't know. Have you ever switched out barrels to shoot a different caliber, like 40 to 9? I did way back in the day. I had a Glock. Oh, what was it? I had a Glock 17, Gen 4, I believe, and I did get the 9mm conversion barrel for it, and I mean it shot fine. Didn't have any issues with it. You can also get a 10mm and shoot 40 caliber out of it. If that's what you want to do. It kind of gives you 2 options. Brian, I think there was a little bit of funny stuff going on all over the place. So switch from 357 SIG, yeah. 357 SIG's a great round. Oh, here we go. The new M&P metal comp feels and looks nice. Saw one at my local gun store. That's awesome, Armsman. Yeah, I was gonna, when I go to Texas Gun Experience, I was gonna check one out if they had one in stock. Also, I want to see the new little bodyguard, that little 380. Not that I'm going to buy one, but I did want to see one in person just to see how small it is. Because I had the original 380 way back in the day, and that thing was, man, that trigger was horrific. I know this one's way better, but I do want to see how big it is, all that good stuff. What's up, Clyde? How are you, man? I said, what's up, Big J? How do you feel about Law Tactical folding adapters for a truck gun? Great. If you are going to get a folding adapter, I would not get I would stay with Law Tactical. I know they've got that, so whatever the other brand is, what is it? It starts with an S, Sylvania or whatever. I would stay away from that one. I do know they have a new one they came out with, so that might be better. But their original one, that aluminum one, was a piece of shit. The only thing about the Law Tactical folder is if you had to draw it and you had it loaded, you would get one around, and then after that, you can't. Of course, you have to have it. The little plug and all that stuff. Um, but no, I think that the Law Tactical folders are a great option. I mean, it makes a bigger gun smaller, so there's nothing wrong with that. I'm afraid to pick up one. Yeah, on the M&P. Yeah, you probably fall in love with it. Man, it's kind of like, this is the funny thing. I'm older. I remember when 10 millimeter was a big thing, and then it just kind of went by the side, just like the 40 caliber, and then all of a sudden, 10 millimeters made a resurgence. So, in the last 2 years, 3 years, 357 could come back around again. Who the hell knows? I mean, I've seen a lot of these circles, so I'm definitely considering it. Even the Shield comp feels and looks nice. Triggers feel better, but I would change it to an Apex. No beating it on the M&Ps. Yeah, Apex is legit on all M&Ps. My F has the Steiner MPS. I really like the Acro footprint a lot. I mean, it is very, very, very robust. Um, you can order the plate for your P10F. You can order the plate from Acro or Aimpoint, and it is only, I think it was like $52, and then you can run the Steiner MPS or the Acro P2 on it, and I really like that footprint a lot. I mean, it is. I mean, you could sit there and bang on it like a hammer, and you're not going to break it off. The way that it, the dovetail, the way it's clamped, unless the screw gave way on the MPS. Yeah, I was going to say Trigger Bar can give you that example, but I mean, heck, you could put anything on it. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. A lot of these dots have came a long way now. I'm not saying you have to have a $600 optic, or $700 optic. There's so many options out there. Yep, Pistol Pete is an M&P guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're great pistols. I haven't shot one of the new ones. I was gonna, see who had one and try it out. And I do want to shoot the new the Shield, comp, like Armsman was talking about it. I do want to try that one out just to shoot it. I'm not saying I'm going to buy one. I did want to try it out and shoot it though, just to see, what I thought about it. Because I have the original Shield, the very first Shield 9 millimeter, and I have the very first Shield 45. But I wanted to shoot the little comp version, see if I like it or not. Like I said, I'm sure it's a fine gun, but Any other? We're coming up on 8 o'clock, 7:59. Y'all have anything else? Any other questions? We can go for another 10 minutes or so if y'all want to. But it's just kind of brought up a conversation about the truck gun thing because just with the weird stuff that's going on, I mean, as we get closer to, I don't want to say it because I'll probably get flagged again, but we know what's coming up, and we know stuff's going to get weirder and weirder and weirder as we go through that. So, just something to think about. Would you carry one? Would you not carry one? Have you thought about carrying one? You know, if you have a small one and it's easy to carry, I would recommend it, because you just don't know what's happening right now. Um, I do have one that I do carry, and I'll probably, if you want, I can do a video on how I carry it. It is not obvious. I don't think it is. Um, but I can do a video on how I carry it, and I think it will surprise you how I carry it, um, and what it is. But if y'all want to see that video, if YouTube will let me post it, we'll see. But I can, I can do a video on that if y'all want. I agree, Pistol Pete. I've heard both people. I've got the people say, "Oh man, I vote every year and nothing changes," and blah blah blah. I'm like, or the people, I'll ask them, they'll be bitching about all kinds of things, and I'm like, "Did you vote?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "If you didn't vote, you can't bitch." So. What is your opinion on comps aftermarket? I love comps. If you watch, I've got tons of guns with comps on them. And I will say this: there are some comps that completely suck, and you really can't tell a big difference. And it's because the way they're cut. Like some comp companies, or the older ones, they would just make a comp and they would just cut slits in it, and it sucked. They're not angled correctly. They're not, kind of creating like a convergent divergent duct to where it's pushing gases up really quickly and pushing the muzzle of the gun down. I've got some that work phenomenal, and then I've got some, and I've called them out. I'm like, I wouldn't recommend this one. I keep it on here, but because it's not as drastic, I think, as it should be. But it still shoots flat. I mean, but I can grip the crap out of stuff. I just think if you could, by using a comp that works, I think if you can be even more accurate, and where comps shine, a lot of people are like, "Oh, those are just flashy," or "You're just blah blah blah." But I tell you what, do it under rapid fire. If you're just like da, 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 popping off a string, that's where you can really tell. If you're just sitting there going bang, 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 it's not going to be as noticeable because you're not rapid firing. I even did a video way back when where it was my standard P10C with no comp versus the P10C with a comp. And I did the exact same pace. It was just kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, boom, boom. And so I did a non-comp target and a comp target. And you can tell the difference. The comp target is so much tighter, and it's the exact same ammo, both P10 guns, just one with a comp. So it does work. But again, there are some that suck. Now, if you have a Glock, I would highly, highly, highly recommend, if you have a Glock 19 or a Glock 17, I would highly recommend the Radian Ramjet. But you're going to get a barrel with that, but I would highly recommend it. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate you, buddy. What is my home defense choice? For me, pistol is 9mm. Rifle or PDW is 300 blackout. So that is what I use. And I do have a 12 gauge, but honestly, that's not my optimal choice, but I do have one ready if need be. But that would not be the one I would grab. And it does have a light on my 12 gauge, and it does have an optic on my 12 gauge. So, it does what I need it to do. I've shot a comped 40, When I had my 40, I don't have any more 40s, but when I had my 40, I did have a comp on it, and it definitely worked. So, but yeah, I'm a big 300 Blackout fan. I run a lot of Super. Super is my absolute choice. Um, but subs if you're wanting to be super quiet. So, but I run both, and I really do like 300 Blackout a lot. Now, 5.56 has its place, or your standard AR-15. But when I would use that, it would be for defensive purposes at 77 grain. Um, in a home, is it really going to matter all that much? Probably not. But I think it's going to be more devastation with a 77 grain, especially if you're trying to squeak out some distance, because the 55 grain does move around a lot in the wind. So, for what that's worth. And I'm not a long distance guru or any of that kind of stuff. It's just from the testing that I've personally done, and even from friends that I trust. 77 grain is not a joke. I mean, it's legit. It's just I'm a big 30 cal guy. So anyway, okay, so we are 8:05. I'll go 5 more minutes. So if y'all got anything else, after that we can shut it down. But yeah, thank y'all so much for making this happen. It's always a great time. I appreciate all y'all tuning in and hitting the thumbs up and doing all that other stuff, sharing, hollering. I think it's getting more, obviously, it's getting a little more and more sticky on YouTube. So if you do want to follow me on X, I'm over there. It's Big Johnson Big Johnson GG. So, I'm over there too. Or it's just titled Big Johnson, but I think it's the at Big Johnson GG, if that matters. But yeah, I like comps a lot. Like I said, I've tried some in the past that sucked. I have one on my P07 that sucks. I mean, it's not that great. That's primary machining. I'm not a big super fan of it, but I mean, it works, but I think it could be better. I think this was their first introduction when they came out with comps. And I have theirs on my P10C, and it helps, but compared to other comps that I have, like on the other one I used to run on my Glock, I mean, that thing, the Harrington Arms, if you're looking for a specific brand name, Harrington Arms makes really good comps. I really enjoy their comps. So, and I'm not paid by them or anything, but they do make good comps. For staccato, I highly recommend the Threat Cadre comp. It is legit. Well, even over the staccato or the Dawson Precision Ice, because I don't like the duckbill look on it. I like the Threat Cadre's slant look better. And the Dawson, it's heavy. So when you put a flashlight on it, it just, I don't know, it just looks super awkward because it kind of goes up and then it looks like those little mouthpieces like on a flute. It looks weird. I can't, and like I said, I know it works. I've shot it, but I still don't think it's as good as Threat Cadres, even in the comparisons of shooting them side by side. That Dawson Ice was not my gun; it was somebody else's that works up at Texas Gun Experience. And after he shot his, then he shot mine with the Threat Cadre, and he actually preferred the Threat Cadre, and he shot that Ice a lot. He's like, yeah, that Threat Cadre is legit. So, yeah, tungsten guide rod. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on the, me, I like to run flashlights on my guns. Maybe you don't, but, the flashlight also acts as a weight too. Even if it's a little TLR 7A, that's weight. And again, I carry a flashlight in my pocket. That would be for identifying things. But I do prefer a flashlight on my gun as well. Again, might not ever need it. Hopefully I don't. But if I do, then I can have both hands on the gun. I'm not holding the light, messing with all that. I'm just boom, 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 turn the light on, off, whatever I got to do. And I'm using that one. And I'm not having to do the FBI, all the cool stuff. And yes, I've shot, held up a light and shot my gun before, but I would rather have two hands on the gun. Or think about it this way: if you were trying to get somebody out of somewhere, okay, and you got a light in one hand and you got your gun in the other hand, and you're trying to pull somebody towards you to save them, you only have two arms. So what do? Put the light in your mouth? I mean, yes, you could. Oh boy, here we go. Pistol Pete's drinking again. He said, Olight's having a big sale. And SIGs are half off. There you go. Oh, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:10. G23 says, I'm not a big fan of lights on firearms because most people don't train with it. So that's flat. They're flagging. Train with it, so they're flagging. Yeah, I look at it this way: if I need it and I'm in a serious situation or something, I'm not afraid to flag a bad guy. Yeah, I did see that too. I don't know, I know that one guy shot his and was having all kinds of issues, or a couple people actually. I think SIG, probably just pushed it out the door quick again, without double, triple checking everything. But I'm sure they're making it right for everybody. If it were me, they would tell me to pump sand because they don't like me. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have a great evening. If you haven't talked to family members, please reach out to them, love one another, all that good stuff. And we will do this next Wednesday. I will actually be traveling, so it'll probably be or it'll obviously be from the hotel. I'll probably be coming to a town near you. As we were talking about truck guns, there's probably going to be one taken, so just be aware. But anyway, so I appreciate y'all so much. Have a great night, everyone. And remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.